clouds travel to the distant continents and they rain there. So, we should have, with Dr. Raj and the team of V. Prasad Rao and all that, we should have really a session for 1 full week. ये आधे एक घंटे में तो सुनने में अच्छा लगता है, मगर समझदारी में इतना हेल्पफुल नहीं होगा.
We can provide officially, we can conduct the discussion because Telangana, now it is happened in Telangana. So we can conduct officially, and you can suggest some experts' names and phone numbers. Personally, I will invite, and you can also suggest them.
The rivers. The master key is somewhere else. Thank you. It's mechanism, and we are highly ill-equipped to understand that. We'll have to listen to the climatologists, we'll have to listen to the soil geochemists and n number of experts. But anyway, once I am back in India, maybe after 2 days, then I can, I want to submit one thing. Dams can never facilitate agriculture. Please note that. When it rains, the pH of the rainwater varies from 5.4 to 6.8. That is what it facilitates germination. Any dam with 25 years of age has pH above 7.2. And that will further spoil the soil downline. Dams also spoil it upline, but no Kisan appeal I have ever come across which say that we don't want them. Ecologists do that, climatologists do that, even activists do that. But the activists favoring Kisan, they have now touched this part of it. And entire eutrophication and all that down the line is due to dam waters with more phosphate. For example, this Hoover Dam discharge has 600 to 800 parts per thousand phosphate. Any EPA clause you see, more than 1 ppm phosphate is not allowed. But our dam waters world over, they have far more phosphate content. And eutrophication is the only consequence. So ecology, water, vapor, climate, and soil and all, it's a very complex matrix. We'll have to look at one thing. Suppose if Rao Saab has lost his key somewhere, and I ask him to look for it on the roadside because there is enough light. You brought the car inside the compound, you parked us in, we both entered your house, you put the car key on your table somewhere, and then unable to locate it, and I ask you to look for the answer for the key on a roadside light, which you will never get. Please understand this. Cause and effect, they are deeply linked, and no effects appear before a cause. So, I think Dr. J also can take a good lead, and we'll have to be.
And again release phosphates and nitrates. So it is a cycle, and it goes on adding, and therefore it is a major problem. One thing I say, when we are talking about rivers, as the experts mentioned, rivers are changing their characteristics, and last 3 decades, rivers are changed. We have to also understand that these are not the same rivers we are referring to, which we have seen 30 years back, 40 years back. In case of eutrophication, silting, their characteristics change. We have to focus, and as Muniji rightly said, we should understand them if we have to protect them and rejuvenate them. What is their present status? We can't talk about the rivers in old rivers now. They are no longer old. They have different characteristics now. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hardly 5 years now. No amount of world funding will ever fix the things. Let's not be under any illusion that money can give us solution. Thank you, sir.
Many subjects in short time. It is difficult to understand how the pH 7.2 and what its effect. We want to know more from you, but please, after coming to relate the consequences and the causes with this particular incident, then people may realize mere research cannot educate people. If we link it with local experiences, local consequences of this havoc or heavy rains, so definitely people may listen to us. I agree that from primary level, kindergarten level, we have to educate the students and the people, and through students we can educate their families. But these government policies and the people who are making the textbooks, they may not listen because they don't have any idea about all these things. Simply they are following the directions of the illiterate or uneducated politicians. So many times in many states, the education minister is below 10th class. Several times it has happened. Even in our state, once upon a time, the chief minister was just 6th class. He studied 6th class and he ruled 18 months. We don't know anything. He was a labor in a factory. But Indira Gandhi favored him because he don't have any splits in the party. Everyone accepted by the order of Indira Gandhi. So what we can expect from these politicians? Though I am in politics, but I never accepted any position. But Honorable Chief Minister requested me to accept this water field, the chairman of water resources. So I thought I can do something by accepting this position. So he himself created my corporation and he suggested me to take the chair. Since 7 years I am doing this, and another 7 years also I will continue because I don't have any deadline for this position. So I thought I may use this position to get some funds to educate people and as well as to connect the incidents, consequences of the global warming, and whatever we want to share the information with them. If we connect to local incidents, then people may realize. That is the reason I proposed the research and
have to have this point or this clause in our manifesto about the education at school level, education at the college level. But at present, because it's an urgency about the control of global warming by reducing our carbon footprint and saving our natural resources, we have to concentrate first on youth. So youth can actually start taking part in all the activities at present, because if we wait for kindergarten children to reach their active age, it will be perhaps too late. Of course,
your suggestion is very good. But institute, I am referring to my experience with the Bleeding Two institutes. I found that only academics will not solve the purpose. From incorporate multidisciplinary kind of approach, okay, all interrelated subjects with river, the experts can be contacted, maybe some informal, formal, whatever way you feel, a group. The people having one thing in mind, that people have to be associated with the exercise. My experience with academics from big government institutes, they are very focused and they are not willing to come out and collaborate or interact with other scientists. So your idea
is H3O. It is known as protonated water.
Yes.
So to H2O come together, give us H3O plus OH. It is a hydroxyl radical. Now, H3O is a positive radical and third H is a proton with a positive charge. And this proton positive charge, H3O molecule appears 1 into 10 raised to 14 H2O molecules. And that is why pH range is 0 to 14. It's not 4 to 8 or 4 to 9 or 2 to 13 or like that. And this H3O, that proton energy, the living system recognized 3.8 billion years ago. Proton energy की बात तो हम अभी कर रहे हैं. सवाल ये है कि हम which door we are knocking. We are knocking every door except the one where Dr. Jay is sitting or Prasad Rao ji is sitting or Vinod ji is sitting. That's not going to take us anywhere. And we do not know pH. I was working downline 5 years ago after Ukai Dam. The pH of the soil is 9.25. You cannot grow anything except because all salts along with the river flow come down the line. We release that dam water in the sea and the soil. The soil gets heated up and H2O vapor goes up. The salts remain in the soil and that renders it highly saline. And saline soil agriculture का promotion हम तो अभी समझे नहीं है. See, I want to irrigate my garden with seawater. Now we are in that phase now. तो हमको पानी चाहिए. Salinity क्या है पता नहीं है. Sodicity क्या है पता नहीं है. pH का अंदाज नहीं है. Which crop requires how much? Of course, research publications are there with agriculture department, and I'm not holding anything against them. But we have to look at the mesocosm. We have to bring the laboratory findings to the site. Where between 1400 to 2000 miles with the sectional area of 140 to 160 square mile. That is the size of the river. How are we going to handle that kind of volume when it comes down? We have no answer. And thank you.
With the scientist Munir sir, the soil microbes is a very much critical one. Soil microbes, especially dead after the green revolution development. So wherever even whether it's a delta system or whether it is a well irrigation or borewell irrigation, all people, farmers are addicted to the DAP, urea and endosulfan, malathion, kung fu, karate, encounter, comas. These are the chemicals used for weedicide and pesticide and disease control mechanism. So because of that one, the soil becomes hardened rather than the organic farm soil. Organic farm soil is a kind of a loose soil, and microbes will be living there. And here the microbes, all kind of beneficial microbes are died because of the high contamination of that urea and other things. So soil become hard, so that runoff is also more. That is one of the criteria here. And so topsoil also getting away from that owned land. This thing happening for past 60 years. Now it has become a very crucial in very recent time. So all the science, especially biology, physics, chemistry, these are all not read or understand by our bureaucrats. That is one of the main reasons. They know only 2 plus 2 equal to 4.
Norms do not, include these parameters.
They do include, but they don't take the survey of the reality. And they have copied it. For example, NBC for wastewater it was drafted in 1972. So we are 50 years behind and there is no change. And the whole world has changed, we know that. So National Building Code, CPCB norms, whatever, even EPA. And look, I just want to share one thing. I think last time only Dr. J or someone said that Himalaya, Ganges, Amazon, they are global entities. They are no more Indian alone. So, सवाल ये है कि world over everybody will have to be serious and committed to address the climate change issues. Otherwise, it's the whole exercise is in futility. Thank you, sir. We have 4 million, 5 million followers and all that, but that's a number. It has no meaning.
Muniji,
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
That is why I said any dam water after 2.5 decades of age. Because there is so much sedimentation in the dam that changes the entire ecology of that water. In 3 decades, 30 years onward, the pH goes on, phosphates go on increasing. And Hoover Dam water, when released recently, it had 600 to 800 phosphorus, parts per thousand phosphorus, not parts per million. And that water is good for nothing. They release that water to increase the volume. Because the detritus and sedimentation occupies a huge volume of the dam. So, any suggestion may look attractive, but we'll have to look at the consequences, maybe 50 years, 100 years down the line. And today I was 2 months ago, I was reading on the dam discharge. No dam world over releases water under 1 ppm. And Environment Protection Act says any water, either from your factory or my factory, having more than 1 phosphate content is not allowed, is illegal. So the dam release by the government itself is an illegal activity. And no one is willing to address this. If my factory discharges more than 1 ppm phosphate, it is I am the offender. And what are the governments doing world over? I am not talking one particular country or one particular dam. So kindly search for this command, phosphate content of the dam release, and you will see the entire picture in front of you. Science को छोड़ के हम क्या करना? What are we going to achieve? I don't know.
Add to Muniji said, when the water comes, the flood water from the catchment, it brings a lot of detritus, decomposing organic matter, and it gets settled down in the tanks, in the dams, bottom or somewhere in the column, and ultimately gets settled down at the bottom. And when it gets decomposed, I'm sure some of the nutrients are also released and in the chain, in the water. I think, Muniji, that can be one of the additional points. Yeah.
Your mic is muted, Muniji.
Because the result comes from the site activity. Publications will come from the research lab. उसका दोनों का समागम होना बहुत जरूरी है.
Across in the form of lakes or check dams on small tributaries, are they also if they get old, then the water within that will be the pH will be more?
Look, the lakes are floodplains of river. When the river spate follows in more quantity, then the river cross-sectional area can handle, it spreads laterally. And wherever it falls in a we call it a pond or a lake or a reservoir or whatever. That does not have a regular constant supply of debris. And number two, the first point you raised, Babylon created a dam which are holding true even today. But they were 4.5, 4.6 meter height. Anything under 6 meter is acceptable to the nature. Now we wanted 112 meter height because we wanted to run our turbines. Water is not designed to run our turbines, sir. We understood dam, we understood turbine, we forgot the water. So any usual flow of a stream even can handle 5 meter of gully plugging or small dam and all that. So that's not a huge deterrent at all. So we'll have to see one thing from a number of angles. Otherwise, we don't know where. For example, in 1970s, before 1960s and all that, we had centrifugal pumps. And centrifugal pump, we pumped out as much water as we could, up to 15 feet, 20 feet. But then irrigation was a huge issue. Water table went down. We came out with submersible pumps, thinking that the green revolution will happen. And we are all celebrating that. But it is the submersible pumps that have brought down the water table to 2,000 feet. So one step progress and 10 step backward. We'll have to see nature from nature's angle, not from our selfish angle.
The decentralized democracy. I have been a researcher in health, and there's a big gap between research to the people. That's
that is why I said mesocosm.
Yeah. Please continue, Rahul.
That linking is known as mesocosm, lab to field. Thank you. Acha, sir, ICRISAT can help.
Yeah.
I have discussed in my limited capacity with some scientists from ICRISAT. But about the dam water discharge and pH and phosphate content, because phosphates are heavier than specific gravity 1. So whatever the water that is held by the dam will settle down. So it belongs to the detritus. It belongs to the floor. It does not belong to the flow. Simple physics, 8th standard. Thank you. आप बोल रहे थे कुछ?
Just I'm thinking on your suggestions. How this research we can take to the people. I'm focusing on that, and whatever the research already done, we need to know with your support. Once you come to India, please, it will go further. Next generations also will take up these issues. This is our responsibility as citizens of this country. So I am feeling this. You can just share your opinion on my proposal.
Sir, research center छोड़िए. Let us go to kindergarten. Because I have discussed all these points with ICRISAT, IITians, Indian Institute of Science scientists and all that. They toss it over to politicians or administrations and bureaucrats, and nobody says, yes, I am interested and I am responsible. Let us do that. So research center is a very, very distant proposal. Good beginning, yes, but we'll have to start, as I submitted last week. ये किंडरगार्टन से हमें शुरू करना पड़ेगा. I'll tell you, PhD that we call in academic field is P capital H small. My PhD for kindergarten is small p capital H, PH. And D stands for distance. If I send my mango to Switzerland and In turn, I get their strawberries here. Forget about the mango and strawberry. What is the handling cost to the planet? And we want to make it available to the selected class of the society. And then we want to talk about Jan Shakti, Jan Falana. I can cheat you for a while. I cannot cheat myself even once. सवाल ये है कि why should, for example, in America, 686 billion liters of water travels per annum, 27,000 kilometers. That energy cost is $4.8 trillion. Why do we need, for example, Bombay, Twin City, they have proposed waters from Narmada. क्यों भाई? Bombay has 60, 70, 80 inches of rain. And they want to bring water from Narmada, which has come from Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra and all various states. ये बिल्कुल flawed बात है. We are glorifying our hollowness.
That research center, we can have a memorandum of understanding with my corporation. I can able to provide some funds for it, and IPRBC and voluntary together can start this research center on these issues. So many issues you have raised in 5 to 10 minutes span of speeches. So we need to insight more, and we need more inputs from you, and also we can invite all scientists from other fields, geological and environment, and whatever the field is related to these subjects. And so many things need to be researched.
Megawatt of power generation requires something like 5 to 6 m³ of water per day. And we are talking about terawatt power generation. Jai Ho. We say that power होगा तो मोटर चलेगी, पानी निकलेगा, जनरेट होगा, नहीं तो नहीं होगा. So these are highly closely interlinked areas, and we'll have to have a multi-directional, transdisciplinary approach to understand and arrive at one particular solution. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rahul.
And Vinodji, as normally talks about the human behavior, and the human behavior perhaps is at the core of all this, and the greed part of it that the human beings have been displaying, has brought us to this.
I have
anyone over to anyone.
I have a question, or I have a query, that today in most of the places, whether it is village or whether it is city, everywhere almost we are drawing water from the bore wells. We don't have enough water supply because we are not maintaining our water bodies in that manner. Like in Mumbai also, if we are transporting water from the village areas in the pipelines from Tansa, Vaitarna, Bhatsa and all, it is not enough. And then we have some lakes which are there, and from there little water we are getting. Almost all the lakes are also silted. And this bore well is most prominently being drawn, and then they are sent through the RO, and this filtered water then is being supplied to the homes. So, Upendraji, your view on this, that whether this way, this borewell water which we are drinking for a long time, how is it going to have health consequences also? Because I have been telling to municipal corporation about this, but still we have not been able to do anything. So, mostly we are trying to say that we have to rejuvenate our rivers. Rivers are totally ignored in Mumbai, and we are drawing water from the borewells. So, kindly your views on this also.
See, if there are no heavy metals, then tube well water is not harmful. On the contrary, it rejuvenates our colon flora. Colon flora requires certain carbonates, bicarbonates, calcium, magnesium, and other salts, but not heavy metals. And we know, so tube well water means we dip a pump and then whatever comes out is water and we accept it. That's a very blind way of accepting things without knowing it. सवाल ये है कि as long as we have no problem, please go on doing it. But once we have a problem, if I am driving a car at midnight and my headlights go, it is raining heavily, my first action should be take my leg off the accelerator. Braking it comes next. एक्सीलरेटर तो हमें बढ़ाना ही नहीं है और ब्रेक बढ़ाने की बात कर रहे हैं हम. First immediate step, if I were the Prime Minister or the world leader, strict no to tube wells, either for rainwater recharging or drawing water. Because even rainwater belongs to the soil, not the belly of the earth. And once you put it down 200, 500 feet underneath, then you will need energy to bring it on the surface, besides the chemistry part of that. And that energy is again water expenditure. Technology is a curse. It desiccated the whole topsoil world over. So what we were celebrating in 1917-18, आज तो the whole North Gujarat is finished. Even dairy technology, 1 liter of milk has a water footprint of 1142 liters of water. So when we sacrifice 1100 liters of water, we get 1 liter of milk. And we want to talk about हमारी नदियाँ दूध से छलका ये and then we talk about fluorosis and lead content and arsenic content, and centrifugal pump will bring out the hard water. Means you are pulling out the carbonates, bicarbonates and other things on the surface. How long your soil is going to be productive is a question. Thank you, sir.